I thought I'd take y'all a little ride and share some thoughts with you. Yesterday, July 13th, 2024. If I remember right, somewhere around, it was in the 6 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time. A man that I admire and look up to was delivering one of his just unbelievable speeches. The stamina on the guy, the ability to, as they say, speak strength to power, speak, truth, to power. I was trying to say speak truth to strength because everybody's Donald Trump, the power. He's one man. He's one man right now, obviously fighting a machine that is willing to murder him. Oh, it's just one person. They've been calling him Hitler. 16. It's okay to punch a Nazi, right? They've been saying that. They say about how if you say that Ocasio-Cortez's teeth look like a horse's teeth, that causes death threats. You're trying to murder her. But when you say Donald Trump is Hitler and going to destroy our country, I studied psychology for years. One of the debates is, would you kill baby Hitler? Would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler? It's a morality exercise. Where do you see the morals in CNN? Let's use the worst culprit that I know of, MSNBC. Where do you find the morals in what they say about Donald Trump? Okay, so you don't like Donald Trump. You disagree with everything he says. That's fine. Well, then your rights to do so. I wouldn't understand why. I had a friend of mine yesterday say, I'd never vote, because I got a hold of him. I was like, well, obviously you're going to vote for Trump now. They've been through so much, and it's pretty obvious what's going on. Well, no, I would never vote for Trump. He did some things I like, but he did a bunch of things I didn't like. And when asked by me, what are the things, would you name some things that he did? Either way, good or bad, that you liked or didn't like? Well, we're talking about politics, because it's a lie. The person doesn't know what Donald Trump did. The person knows that the media said racist, and they believe that. I can't say it's soul crushing. I don't really let things bother me that much, not even things in my personal life. I want to be the stoic. I want to be able to understand that the situation I'm in is the situation that I'm in. And if there's something I can do to change it, go ahead and do that. But if there isn't, to accept the situation that I'm in and to deal with it. Anyway, I'm gonna digress left and right. That's what this is about. It's a stream of conscious thought from a madman that is trying to figure out when are people going to wake up and say, oh, I see, I have been wrong. And I know that it's tough to say you were wrong. It's especially tough to say you're wrong when you know you've been fooled by someone. When those things happen, we tend to lock down. We tend to go into I couldn't possibly be wrong mode and to defense. But if you don't see that Donald Trump has the best interests of this country and its people in mind, and that is reflected in the policies that he puts forth when he's in office and in power, I can't even, I wouldn't know what to say. I would be at a loss. It would be as if I'm trying to explain that is a mountain to someone that thinks that is a valley, and says, no matter what I say, says that's a valley. And when I say, no, listen, the valleys come in between these tall portions of land. The in-betweens, the part is the valley. Search for the explanation things for Space Force, but it's going to be really hot down there, and I needed some time to think, so I'm going up to Cripple Creek. I'm going to go to the casino to eat, but not to gamble. I don't gamble. And then I'm going to go find a river that's flowing through these mountains somewhere, and I'm going to kick back and enjoy that river. So what were we saying? Unable to accept what is real. So what do you have? You have a slow increment if you remember back when Hillary Clinton said the basket of deplorables and irredeemables, which I'm with Trump, irredeemable, that's wow. I mean, if you're deplorable, you can change your ways, but irredeemable, that means there's no. And that was, oh, even the left's like, oh, we're going to keep. And slowly but surely, I've watched this happen over the last 6 years. Just an incremental change in the ways the talking heads, for the vast majority of it, talked about the people that disagreed with them. Oh, I respectfully disagree with that too. It just incrementally until it's no, they're liars. I don't agree with them, so they're liars. If you disagree, or if you say that mass immigration is a terrible thing and they're replacing Americans, not white people, Americans, a lot of them are black. In fact, they're the ones, I believe, most impacted by all this immigration. Oh no, you're lying. We can't have a difference of opinion. Some things, because you don't see things the way I do, it doesn't mean you're a liar. It doesn't mean I'm a liar. It means that we have different views. But you can't say that mountain is a valley. That can't be the different view. You can't point to Donald Trump and say he's in it for himself anymore. The man has now taken a bullet. I'm going to talk about something else. I've got now, it says 40 minutes before I get to the destination. I may be with you here the whole time, I may not, but I want to talk about courage. It's hard to measure courage when you're talking to someone. How did Kepling put it? Rudyard Kipling, he said, you may talk of gin and beer when you're quartered safe out here and you're sent to penny fights and all are shotted. But when it comes to slaughter, you'll do your work on water and you'll lick the bloomin' boots of him that's got it. There's perspective in life, and courage is a perspective. Now, I believe I'm brave. Am I? I don't truly know. My bravery has been tested in life. There's been times where it was found wanting when I was young. As I grew older, I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you. So far, there's not been an instant where my bravery has been wanting. Not since I was, 13, 14 years old. What is bravery? Bravery is action in the face of extreme risk and danger. It's not that you're not afraid. It's nothing to do with fear. In fact, in Moby Dick, I believe it was Starbuck that says he would never have an utterly fearless man in his whaleboat with him. The boats that went out from the main ship to strike the whale. Because an utterly fearless man is not brave, he's foolish, and he's much more dangerous than someone that has a measure of fear. Fear helps you when you're reacting not to be, get yourself killed, but fear can be crippling. When I saw yesterday a man that just took a bullet, was still not sure if it blew his ear off, if it tore off half his face, these things, you go into shock, your adrenaline kicks. He raised his fist. Blood streaming down his face. Fist raised in the air in the ultimate sign, the ancient sign of defiance. The ancient sign that traces its roots back, far back to antiquity, back to the days when we lived in caves and the lion would come to take our children. And when we battled the lion and come away gashed, we'd shake our ancient fists as a sign of, you may be stronger than me, but I will not surrender. I will not give up what I am, who I am, what I have, and what they have, because you roar. I watched that live yesterday, and when he went down, I thought he's dead. He had enough in him to put his hand to the side of his face, but to turn a phrase, JFK, my beloved Don, The Don is down and done. They can't wait for old age. He seems to be outwitting old age. They can't wait for court cases. He chews them up and shits them out. They can't wait. And to push the envelope. And what did I see? I saw not a caveman. I saw a lion rising up against the jackals and shaking his bloodied paw. I could live 1,000 lifetimes, not 1,000 years, 1,000 lifetimes in the image of the indomitable man rising up from the ground, blood streaming, fist raised, saying those words, fight, fight, fight. Ha! Unbelievable! The spirit of Teddy Roosevelt. Andrew Jackson, reborn. Old Hickory, risen from the grave. The words that I wish that I could find now, the eloquence of speech that I fall short of, the imagery that I can't paint. You could only see it. I saw it happen, my friends. I watched it happen. I watched the jackals circle. I watched the cowards nip at his heels these 6 years. I watched the sycophants say, "We'll help you, Don. We're gonna help you get through this, Don." I watched the backstabbers, the ladder climbers, the crabs pulling each other back into the barrel. I watched them. I watched these jackals. And I've seen the Don do what I would never imagine in my life that I could ever do, let alone any other man, because in my foolish heart, I believe I can do anything I set my mind to. Don't call me crazy. The indomitable man rising from the bloodied stage, not waving a bloody shirt, shaking his bloody fist in the face of those that would shoot him and those that would have him executed in public. That the time's coming, my friends, when we'll be able to make a decision of what we want. Are you going to be manipulated by monsters? By Hegelians? Are you going to allow the problem reaction solution to drive you like a cow, like a stampeding buffalo? My fellow Americans, no, you are a buffalo. You are a mountain lion. You're an American. You don't allow it. Think for yourself. Turn the news off for a week or two. Look at history. Look at modernity. Make up your own mind. Are we to believe the same government that would give syphilis to men because they didn't care much for their color, lie to them about it, and watch them as they suffered for years to just see what it would do? We're ever going to believe that government again? This government. Now, listen, there's a reason why they hate Donald Trump so much. It's because he's not them. He didn't fly on, to Epstein's island. I guess he was on his plane once for convenience, found out what it was, would never get on it again. He's the one that threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. This whole idea of painting the Don with their brush to call him a pedophile because I'm not going to say that it wasn't a little ham-handed, but I will say it's a stupid thing that I would say about how my daughter's beautiful, and if she wasn't my daughter, she'd probably be my girlfriend. It's a ham-handed thing to say, but I understand that he wasn't saying he wanted to do anything to his daughter. That's for the Bidens of the world. His daughter's the one that wrote down that her dad had her shower with him much after the appropriate age, if it's ever appropriate for a father to shower. If your daughter's in the shower, you shouldn't be in there with her. Look, that's a digression I'm not willing to take right now, because everybody listening right now is smart enough to know that nobody in the sound of my voice is that bloody stupid. No one is going to allow, no one. Come on, Americans, wake up, please. They tried to kill your president. They stole the election. I don't care. I got a little channel. They're going to do something to me, whatever. They stole it. It's obvious. I mean, look at what happened in that election. If our country, if our think tanks were to look at another country and that's the way it went, they'd say, well, this was obviously stolen. It was obviously stolen. Oh, just a little break in my thought here. I'm heading to Cripple Creek, Colorado. I'm going to the Gold Nugget Saloon. Not going to gamble. I'm going to eat. I don't gamble, but I'm going to find a nice creek after that, and I'm going to unwind my thoughts for a little while. That's kind of what I'm doing here, but I'm sharing my thoughts with you. To unwind one's thoughts does involve a lot of not thinking of anything, not bothering, and not being bothered by it. It involves remembering that one breath after the other is what we have. It's the rule of threes, my beloved friends. We have 3 minutes without oxygen. We have 3 days without water. We have 3 weeks without food. I believe it's actually 3 months, but you get the point. So here we go, on our way to Cripple Creek. The Jackals tried to meeting with Hillary Clinton there and couldn't do it. I know there was shenanigans there, and he happened to win. And shenanigans, the ballot printers went burr this last time, and burr after midnight. And I went to bed knowing that the Don won, and then woke up and burr all night long in Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, all over the place. Burr. So I think they're aware that couldn't happen this time, that they're running a literal corpse against a human dynamo, a guy that I look at this old man and I think, my God, thank you that what I have to do is drive my truck for 18 hours today and not follow Donald Trump around with a briefcase, because that would take some energy. That takes some energy. The indomitable man, the Don, rising from the bloodied stage, fists raised. Let me get my shoes, says the great man. He won't go out barefooting. His shoes, he came out of his shoes, you see. He got down. I mean, when he touched his ears, seeing the blood. He's maybe the bravest man I've ever seen in my life, but he's not the dumbest. Fight or flight kicked in, he stood up. He pushed out of his circle of protection. He let the world see him. He let everyone there at that, myself watching, everyone at the rally, he let any other shooters see, I'm here. I'm bloodied. You hit me, but you didn't kill me. And them sons of bitches, how dumb are they, my beloved patriots? How stupid are they? You don't go for the king and not take him out. They went for the king. They tried to sneak the king. They tried to backshoot. I understand whatever it came to, but that's a backshoot. They tried to sneak him, and they failed. The king will now devour these knaves. Look out! They talk about, what, law? Oh, is he going to go after it? Is he going to go? Why don't you worry about what's happening to him? You are going after him with lawfare. Oh, is he going to go after it? You are using rhetoric that there's now an attempted assassination. Oh, his words to rile up. What in the world? When are people in general going to wake up and say, my God, it's actually the opposite. It's what they're saying. Someone else is going to do it's what they're doing. It's the rules for radicals. It's Saul Alinsky. And listen, I got to admit, very quickly, if you read that book, it's got a lot of good stuff in it, but it depends upon how you apply it. You can apply the Bible and be a horrible cunlinger. You can apply the Quran and be a vicious, murdering tyrant. You could apply both of those books and be a benevolent, beloved leader. It's not always the literature. It is very often the application. What happened after the application of the rhetoric from I hate to say the left because it's the right-left paradigm. It's Donald Trump is not right, damn it. Donald Trump is the dawn. He's the great liberator. He is the MAGA man. He is the hope that we have. My friends, I'm slightly in shock. I still can see the indomitable man rising from the bloodied stage in utter defiance of death itself. Good dear God in heaven, bless this country and bless the Don. Please, dear God, keep him safe today. Give him the courage, though, Lord. Amen. What, they thought it's going to take him off the campaign trail? Anybody listening to me right now? I don't know. If someone's listening, do you think he's going to quit? Is the Don going to quit now? Is he going to lay down and let the jackals eat him in his pride? Is he going to give up everything that he has and that he's fought for? Is he going to turn his back on the American people? Is that what's going to happen? Or is he going to go to a rally? Is he going to have probably bulletproof glass like some moron should have had to begin with? Is the security going to be tighter? Yeah, I'm sure they're going to give up a little liberty in the name of security because even the Don doesn't grasp this. No one's perfect. I would rather live in a world where people can take shots and people can do these dumb things and there's liberty. Because if there was utter liberty, the guy that was saying, hey, he's got a gun, would have already had his weapon out and fired. But you can't do it, right? No, you can't. You normal people, we dare not let you have a weapon. We don't know what you'll do with it, you normal person. Listen, we live in a country where every man, woman, and child should be armed. Oh, child, he said child. Yeah, listen, folks. It wasn't that long ago when every boy carried a rifle to school every single day. It wasn't just because he wanted to bring a jackrabbit home or, hell, if he was lucky, a deer. It was because if somebody come and tried to mess with the teacher, you know how many examples there are in old, I'd say the old West, but old America, where there was some charcuterie gonna happen around the school building and the children defended the school. Oh, but Ogre, you can't say that. Man, nonsense. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. That's not just talking about religious training. That's talking about all training. That child should know how to use that weapon, should respect it, should never even think of using it to murder someone in cold blood. That should be the last thing on their mind. But to use it to defend, of course.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Colorado 67 South.
I'll do that, Google. So we're now in Divide, Colorado. It's not going to get quite cool enough here for me, and I'm not in the mountains far enough. I got to go up where it's lawless. I'm going up on Cripple Creek. She sends me. If I spring a leak, she mends me. And
turn left onto Colorado 67
she
South.
She defends me. A drunker's dream if I ever did see one. That's where I'm going. I'm going up on Cripple Creek. I need some relief today. When I get there in a quiet place, I'm going to have some cold beers. So, I guess I can see somebody. Chris Noll says, I doubt he'll quit. I doubt too, Chris. And Shrapnel says, that's right. I'm not sure what he said that's right, but I appreciate the agreement. I appreciate disagreement. I appreciate discourse. I appreciate it when people can come together and human beings can use their great and wonderful thinking machines, that few pounds of gray oatmeal
continue on Colorado 67 South for 18 miles.
That is the divide between us and the monkeys. All right, folks, I got 24 minutes left here, and I think I'm gonna take it in just utter silence. I could talk to you the rest of the way, but I've said everything I wanted to say about this. Anything else would just be rehashing it, going over and chewing over the same ground. And I hope a few people watch this. I think it's important to understand that you're not just dealing with somebody that's out for themselves. Donald Trump, you're dealing with the bravest human being that I've ever seen in my life. I've never witnessed that right there. I've never seen somebody on live TV get shot and immediately stand up and say, where's my shoes? Let me get my shoes. And then shake the fist defiantly, saying, fight, fight, fight. He'll never give up. He'll fight for you. He loves you. He does. You can see the love in him. He loves you, a fellow American. So remember this. If you forget everything else I've said and this and all the other live streams I've ever done, don't forget this. Be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, or loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, my beloved viewers, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones in your life, and possibly even your beloved Donald Trump will depart from you.